Hey y'all, welcome back. We are on the back patio of our house and we need to evaluate the landscape. We need to walk around, we need to see. Chewy. That's the thing, when you're living in a regular house in a regular lot, there's neighbors. And so what I want to do is walk us around and kind of evaluate what we're working with to start, and then kind of brainstorm some ideas with you guys. And please do let me know in the comments what you think would be good on less than a quarter-acre lot where the house takes up most all of the space. And then today's Sunday, tomorrow we're gonna go down to the county office and just double check, what do we need to know? You know, can we even have backyard chickens? I think we can, but I don't know. What do we need to do about the fencing and permitting? Can we do it ourselves? Do we have to hire somebody? There's a lot more to navigate since we're in a residential neighborhood. So let's get started. Let's tour the property, and we're gonna start with the back patio. So we've got our back door here that opens up. Dorothy is not as fond of being an outside kitty here in Louisiana as much as she was in Hawaii. So this is the back patio space. It's was a painted concrete, not much space really, but it is good. It has a fan and a light. I don't know what we can do here. It's so shaded. And then the backyard, you can tell, very short, and it butts up right against these woods. We also don't have gutters on the house, and one of the things that has been happening, it's hard to tell if you can tell here, is it's been digging into the ground. So let's step down and away just a little bit, and I will show you kind of what I mean. So if we look back, hard to say maybe if you can tell, but because we don't have any gutters, the water just comes straight down and is digging into the ground and then draining out. Also, this is a good angle to see how we have a pretty significant slope down, which is good to keep the water away from the house. But what ends up happening, if you can maybe tell, is, and I don't know, this house wasn't lived in for several years before we got it. So I don't know why it floods here, or like it doesn't flood, it just stays there and it doesn't drain out when nobody else's properties along the way seem to do that. So you can also tell here, the grass is having a heck of a time to grow, and it just becomes a big muddy pit because of Chewy. No, not just because of Chewy boy, but you can tell where the ground was normal, and then where it's dug out from the rain, and then it just continues to wash down into this standing water, which I don't want. We need to get rid of that. And it goes along the whole back part of the property. Now, to kind of talk about this fence situation, this fence was here when we bought the place, and it was really in disrepair, partially falling down in spots, and we thought, you know what, let's just keep it as best as we can for as long as we can, and just deal with it. However, in the last hurricane that we got, the hurricane season, we were out of power for I think 4 days. I can't quite remember, but that hurricane knocked down the rest of the fence. So on this side, we still have this front gate, which is not very good. It's barely being held together. And then we just went and got these picks and this chicken wire, kind of as a temporary fix for just to keep the dogs in the yard and the other dogs out. A lot of the neighbors don't even have fences. So that was just kind of a temporary fix. So we need the fence to be fixed or replaced or something. I don't know. Also on the back side, you can tell it's cut down in half, and we've got some of the panels left there. That's that back gate. When we were back here last summer, we were kind of thinking, because this is just a forest, just a wild forest back here, Nobody lives back there. It's just, I think it's like 20, 30 acres of just land. What we were thinking is, why do we have such a tall fence in the back anyway? It would be nice to be able to look out. And we have a short, very short, small backyard, but it would be nice to be able to just look out. So we kind of just, we knew this fence was busted, so we just cut all along the side, along the top, to make it a half a fence. Okay, so if we're at the front gate and we're looking back this way, that's another fence panel that fell down. We have this whole side yard, which could be a really good option. I was thinking for the chicken coop. This part gets sun all day, every day from start to finish. And so once we replace the fencing here, I was thinking this could be a good part of the yard. I don't know if chickens would be good here though, because it's in the sun all the time. So we do have this back window for one of the back bedrooms. And then all of this grassy spot here, going to the back corner of the fence there. And if I try to navigate back over here, you can see sort of, here's the back part of our yard. That HVAC unit is on a block of concrete. That can't go anywhere. And then as you can tell, most all of this back portion is shaded because of the house. It barely gets any sun at all. And I think that's partially why the grass is not wanting to grow there. So this is what we're working with in the backyard. Before we continue, let me just say here, I think because this is so shaded, one of the things we had thought about doing was a floating deck to kind of connect where the HVAC goes here maybe. That would be a lot. I want to ask the county department if we could build our own floating deck, or we would need a permit, or if some professional would have to do it. But let's continue to the other side of the back part of the house. And you can tell here too, most of this is also shaded. I think that's why the grass doesn't want to grow. And for the privacy of neighbors and whatnot, I'm going to be very mindful not showing everyone's business. But then we've got this back portion, of the yard as well. So again, you can tell some of the fencing is still there from whenever we got, I think it's like 10-year-old fence from when the house was built, but the rest blew down. So this side stays pretty sunny, but partially shaded. We do have this satellite, which we don't use, we don't need. So that is something I do want to rip that out. That's a kind of a, it's designed to be a foggy window for one of the bathrooms. So we need to replace this fence. And then what can we plant here on this side with it being half shaded, half sunny? And then you can see the rest of our fence there is our temporary kind of holdout. So this is what we're working with for the backyard. Now let's go up front. Okay, we are standing in the front yard. Apparently you're not supposed to show the front of your house, but I don't know how else I'm supposed to show you, right? So one of the things to be mindful of, let's just look over here. This is just a plain lot. Our property, I'll show you, only goes to where our fence line is here. So our property doesn't actually go the full over there. So it's just where that fence is. And then we've got this space coming here. And then we've also got this green patch right in front of the house, this grass patch. But let me show you closer. Here's one of the things that I think is important for us to consider. See that? That's some sort of a sewer, like I think you have to, I don't know why it's like that. I noticed that down here in the south, it's like all the sewer is just like these pipes that come out of the ground. And they just sort of like leave it like that. So I don't know really what about that, but when we first bought the place, there was these huge bushes here on both sides of the front. And they were like, they just weren't maintained. And so, and they were up onto the concrete or the brick, and the windows. And so we thought, let's just rip those out. Maybe they've been growing a while. Maybe they're a good landscaping bush. I don't know, but they were way too close to the house. And like, I just didn't think we wanted plants like that touching the house. So anyway, we've got this patch here, and then on the other side by the front, we've got that patch there, and that's kind of a standing little box that I got of aloe, but that aloe died when we got the that winter storm. We had that bad freak winter storm. So there's this grass patch, which I think we could really do something good with here in the front. Let me show you the other part of the front yard. So again, I want to try to be mindful of our privacy and our neighbors and whatnot. One of the interesting things is in the front yard, I don't think this is actually our property. And I say that because there's these drainage bits, this drainage thing that goes from our property over to the next and all the way through the neighborhood. And then also here's another one of those like sewer things. And then it continues. So I think our property line is actually probably about where that sewer line is. But there is all of this grass space. So how can we use this grass space for homesteading? I'll just show you here from the front too. So that's that drainage concrete pipe that goes all the way to that grate. So I think our property line is actually on the inside. And then you can see all these utilities here in the front, and then our fencing in the back. So this front yard, it seems like there's a good amount of space. This is one of those trees I was telling you about. It's no good really, and this bush is out of hand. But really good front yard space. I just don't know how we're supposed to homestead that, urban homesteading it. And then along the side, it gets kind of shaded. Another random busted dish that was here that we have to get rid of. And then towards the back, we have all this side yard, which is really good side yard, partially shaded throughout the day, definitely gets the morning sun, and then back to the fence. So that's kind of what we're working with. It's kind of the perimeter of what we're working with. So I'm thinking maybe we can fence off more of the front yard, kind of going maybe up closer to the front so we can maximize more of the back space. And then I don't know, like, what do you guys think? Please do comment down below. What do you think about how we can homestead the front yard? Nobody in the neighborhood has a garden. Everybody has grass. Nobody has a front yard fence. Only a couple of houses have a backyard fence. All right, so we're in the front little covered part here. So that's kind of the tour of our property. The backyard, which you can tell is quite small and short. Our house is set towards the back of the property, so we have a lot more front space. But again, it's a very small lot, and the house takes up a lot of it. And so I'm thinking a couple of things. Let's just recap what I'm going to want to talk with the county office about is one, the fencing. Can I fence the front yard? First off, can I fence the front yard? Two, can I do it myself? Can I get a permit and do my own fencing? Three, how about replacing the backyard fence? Four, I want to see about maybe building a floating deck. I don't exactly know the difference between like a built-in deck and a floating one. I just was looking online, and I think I could do a floating one myself more easily, planning it out, setting the pavers and whatnot. I'm not trying to pour concrete. I'm just thinking a wood deck, and I can plan that out more, like for my brain, that makes more sense. And then can I have chickens? I think having chickens would be good. Do they have to be in the backyard? Could they be in the front yard if we fenced it? What about like raised planters? I think of course we could have raised planters, but can we have them in the front yard? That's kind of, I think part of my questions is what can I do in the front yard because the back is so limited? And then I'm curious, we don't have gutters, but I'm curious about adding gutters. Can I add that myself? The other thing I was thinking about is rain barrels or rain catchment. Can I catch the rain, especially in that backyard section, from the gutters, from the roof runoff, and then maybe we can use that for something, maybe for the chicken coop. I don't know. We wouldn't want to feed them water off the roof. I don't know what we'd use it for, but trying to see how I can capture some of the water. And then, yeah, I think that's kind of what I'm wondering from the county office. Now, what I'm curious about for you guys, if you could, I hope you can even see me. Maybe we need to turn a different way. I don't know. There. Is that better? Can you see better? Here's what I'm curious from you guys in the comments. If you would, let me know what you think as far as what should we do with all this grass? I think people like a grass lawn, but also, I don't know, maybe not. I want to like try to urban homestead as best as I can. So what can we do with all this grass? What do you think we can do in the backyard? Because there's so much shaded spots, and because of the water runoff situation, the grass isn't really even wanting to grow that good. Plus the dogs, right? We've got the 4 dogs and the cat and whatnot. So what do you guys think about what we can grow? How I should grow it? Remember, we're in southern Louisiana. We are down in the most southern portion of Louisiana. So it is hot, it is humid, we get a lot of rain, a lot of storms, and then what else? What do you think we can do as far as growing our own food, or supplementing our own food? I'm thinking about incorporating citrus trees. I think we could grow citrus, but where? Where on the property? And then what other kind of, just any ideas you guys might have would be really helpful. Okay, so we've walked around, we've kind of toured our landscape and kind of got an idea of our options. I've got my checklist for tomorrow morning. We're going to go down to the county office and just check, right, to see what we can or can't get away with. But now that I've had some lunch and I've kind of taken a little bit of a break, I was thinking, it's a beautiful day and I don't want the day to go to waste. And so I know that eventually we will need to get a new fence. But what I was sitting here thinking is, could we reuse the old fence panels for raised garden beds? I know I want to do raised garden beds for a couple of reasons. And one is because I want to be able to kind of try to control the soil amendment without digging into the ground. And I'm not sure how much we can dig anyway. So after we do our county stuff, we are going to have to probably get a survey. So we'll make sure we got our boundaries. And then the other thing is I'm going to call that 1-800 call before you dig, or 811, I think it is, call before you dig, because we're a residential lot in a neighborhood. I know there's stuff under the ground. So I know already I'm going to be leaning towards a raised garden bed. And I thought, well, we could reuse some of these fence panels, not to mention they're just sitting back there kind of rotting. They're no good. So what I think we're going to do for the rest of today, to kind of prep, to see before we can go to the county tomorrow and really get started on projects once we know what we can or can't do. I think I'm going to haul these fence panels to the front, remove the nails, saw them down into whatever kind of shape, ideal. I don't know. We're going to try to get them to be a reusable material. And then I may, I don't know about a planer to like skim the top to make it smooth, or maybe use sand. I don't know. So let's not let the sunny, beautiful day get to waste. And let's see what kind of tools we still have in the garage for my husband. Hopefully I've got a pair of work gloves. If you've learned anything so far about our channel, we're not particularly prepared. We just kind of jump in there. So here's our garage as tools and stuff. I think I need this to charge the battery. And we do have this saw. And I think that is a sander. So I can probably use this saw to saw the wood, and then the sander to sand it down to try to make it smooth, and then maybe we'll go from there. So let's get this out and Okay, while these are charging, while these batteries are charging, so that we can use the tools. Still my husband tools, I still just keep using them until I can get my own, I guess, I don't even know. But I've got some gloves and I gotta put some socks and shoes on, I think. And then let's try to just bring those fence panels up front and just see if we can salvage them. I mean, why not? Like, we are on a budget. We're seriously on a budget. So if I can salvage as much of this material as possible to really, I mean, we've got to use what we can. So let's do that. Let's go out in the back and put some shoes on, and then let's go grab those boards, old fence panels. Okay, come on, let's go outside. Come on. Come on. Buddy, you coming on? All right, so I've got my boots and I'm gonna set you guys up here. So hopefully you can see. I think what I'm gonna start with doing is trying to bring the fence panels that we've kind of stored back there more up front. So I've got my boots. I got my same boots from Hawaii. And I'm gonna try to bring these up forward so we can see what we're working with, because we've just had them stored back there anyway. They need to be brought up. So yeah, maybe I'll bring you guys a little closer. Let's see. It's important to remember that I still don't know what I'm doing. How come this is stuck? Oh my God. Maybe we can't even get this thing. Why is it like that? There's nothing even down here. Ooh, careful. Shoot. Oh, I got it. Okay, it was stuck down. Okay, look. Because of all this water and this mud, this thing is totally stuck down in there. And that whole bottom piece is like rotted out, we know. And then it's only that up there that's holding it together. How did we even open this before? This was totally done last summer. So I am struggling to get this out, but hopefully I have to open this to get that wood. It's not a matter of how, it's a matter of just get it done. Okay, we have to try again. And this water's not going anywhere. Oh, sick, there's bubbles. That means something's down there, I think. Oops, oh man. We are kind of getting it. Okay. Whew. You also got to be careful of critters because there are critters. And if you guys remember anything, I am not particularly good with the critters. Oh my gosh, if it would just stay close to where it needs to be over there. I mean, how far is this going to open, I wonder? Does it go all the way? I think it will. Ooh. Okay. Oh, sick. Okay, well, we got that part. Now let's see if we can't bring some of these wood pieces forward. Get out of there, Chewy. Get. I don't want you in the water. This is gross water. Go on. Get. Get, I say. Okay, let's see what we're looking at. All right, we got this gate open, but that's what we're working with. So because that's so full of water, this is the drainage issue, so full of water and these sticks, I think I'm gonna try to get one of those fence panels as like a bridge to walk over and then bring the rest of those forward. Or maybe I should just bring the saw out here. I don't know, but that's what we're working with. Okay, not ideal, not great, but kind of better than it was. Gotta be careful of critters and stuff. So I think I'm just gonna bring this stuff forward. Go on, Chewy, I know you're curious, but bring these panels forward and out here, and then we can saw them down. If for nothing else, if we can't reuse them, then they have to get taken to the dump anyway. So we'll just go from there and see what we can do. Okay. Please watch out, Chewy. Please watch out. This is not for you. Yep, see, now you got scared. Chewy. I might need a second path. I don't want this water to get on me. I mean, what do you guys think? Is this wood any good? But get out of the water, Chewy. Watch out, Nova. Okay, here's what I seem to continue to forget time and time again. I'm not that strong. I don't know why, I just think I am, but I'm not. And honestly, like, I can't really be getting these boards. I've got quite a few. Can show you. Careful, you're stuck there. So I got all these. Chewy's smelling them because of course they smell like rotten wood. And then I'll show you what we still have to work with here. The trouble is, I don't think this wood is worth saving. Does that make sense? Like, yeah, it's wood. But is it worth trying to save it and reuse it? And I'm not concerned about it being old pressure treated wood or whatever. This house is only 10 years old and it was built brand new then. But my concern is, it is really rotted wood, like really rotted and moldy. And I don't think it would literally stand the test of time. Like, I might be better to just buy new wood or something else. Let me show you what else we have to do here. Okay, so I made 2 ramps. This piece is huge. And then on the other side here, there's that one kind of broke down. And then these little bits that have been rotting. I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell that good. And then just like junk wood on this side. There's a little pool on that side. We can get another fence panel down there. But to be completely honest, like, I just don't think this wood is worth trying to salvage. Like, it is all, it's all pretty rusted, and not rusted, busted. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, I've got this panel here. Is it worth like cutting it, trying to sand it down? Like, it's kind of rotted. You know what I mean? It's not just like, oh, it's old wood that's like sun damaged. It's like rotten. Some of these pieces aren't that bad. And then if you look at the pile that we've got over here, Chewy can't help but be interested because it stinks. And you can't see on that side because of the shadow. Let me come over here. Watch out, Chewy. Get out of here, please. I mean, it's pretty bad. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to keep trying to get it out from back there because it's not going to do us any good back there. So I think I'm going to keep trying to haul that front forward because we're going to have to do something with it either way. And we'll see how this progresses, and I'll let you know, obviously, you guys will know what we're gonna do with it. Do we keep it and try to make a garden bed? Now I'm really questioning if that was a good idea. I'm just trying to DIY, you know, I'm trying to DIY and I'm trying to salvage as much as we can from what we already have. But I feel like it might be a waste of my time to try to save these boards and try to like save them. So I'm gonna keep hauling these as best as I can. I might have to saw them just so I can move them, to be honest. And yeah, let you guys know what we decide here. Who knows? Whoa. I mean, maybe if it does lean down a little bit. Like this. Oh my God, I'm gonna pull something. I gotta drag it. I've gotta drag it. There's no way that I can lift it by itself. But it doesn't want to drag because it's so heavy. And especially on the ground. Whoa, watch out, watch out. Yeah, Nova, please go lay down. Okay, maybe if I do the grapevine, we're gonna have to pivot, I think is what we're gonna have to do. Okay, watch out, watch out. Goodness gracious, yeah, the pivot. The pivot is the move. Whew. Okay, pivot there. Sorry, you guys, you're out of frame, but I can't stop now, otherwise, this stupid thing. Why? Okay, one more pivot, and then I think we can drop it, and it should be good. Okay. Okay. Whoa, see, that's what I'm talking about. It's what is so rotted. It can't be, I cannot think to reuse this. I don't know why I thought, see, like, let me show you guys. This is not gonna work. Why did I think that this wood, we would be able to reuse it? Maybe not all of it is completely rotten like that, but I feel like most of it is. But we got this over here. Yeah, boy, we got this one over here. But I just really don't think that this is salvageable. I really don't. I wanted it to be because I thought, and maybe if we look on the sides, I don't know if you can tell, but like, I thought inside would still be wood and you just get rid of the outside rotten piece. But I'm starting to question all of that, to be honest. It's just so rotted. An ant, get off me, stupid ass ant. Anyway, I got most all of that out. When will we ever learn the lesson to just not try to take shortcuts? When this stuff fell out, we could have just put it in the back of the truck, taken it to the dump or the recycle center or whatever. But instead we were like, no, let's just chuck it back here for now. Deal with it later. How about instead of dealing with things later, you just take care of it when you need to take care of it? When will we learn that lesson? This was so much harder now that this wood from the fence has been sitting, broke down, rotting. That's incredibly difficult, not to mention gross. The amount of roaches. The things down here in Louisiana, let me just tell you, nasty. Okay, nasty bugs, stank bugs, slimy bugs, quick bugs. They are fast, and half of them are poisonous apparently. So I'm gonna see what I can get from this back part of the fence I got from that spot there. See about getting the rest of the stuff here and going from there, okay? I will never learn my lesson. First off, went and got a little something to drink, right? Because it's really hot. I'll never learn that lesson either now being here a year. The heat of the day, southern Louisiana, and it's March, so it's like not even that hot. This isn't the time. But here's what I'm realizing. First off, I can't lift those up over this fence with this like 2 foot of water. So I think the way that I'm gonna have to do it is by dismantling the fence to get to there. But what I'm wondering is if I'm gonna dismantle the fence, the dogs will go back there. Chewy already broke out one day, sometime last, I don't even know when, and was gone in the bush back there. And so if I dismantle the fence, I'm gonna have to put something up instead. So what I'm wondering is, we might need to run to Home Depot. You know I love Home Depot. If you don't, now you do. I honestly like Lowe's is cool and all, but not really. And I just love Home Depot. I also love Walmart. So anyway, I digress. But see these posts? We got these as a temporary fix with this chicken wire. And it's not perfect. Like we didn't tighten it that much, but it's enough to do the job. So what I'm thinking is I probably need, you don't need a permit to take out your fence, do you? That wouldn't make any sense. Like obviously you can take out your fence. Question is, can I put it back? But a temporary solution like that I think would be fine. Oh, but the water. That tornado just came through yesterday. Took out half of Arkansas and Mississippi and northern Louisiana. It's so sad. We just had major rain and thunderstorm, but I think I have to dismantle this fence to clear it out. And then the water drainage issue, that is something we're gonna have to address. And you know, let me flip this around and show you what I'm thinking. Okay, so we are zoomed out as much as we can be. So if we're just looking like from my chest level out, what you can see, I hope you can see, I might have to get a better angle, all of this material up here, all of this earth material, it seems to be just, also like just crap is back here from before we moved here. Like I think maybe the people that lived here before were just dumping back here. I don't know, but there's so much earth material here that is built up. And then where they put this fence, let me see if I can't get a better angle. Come on. Roxy, get out of here. You guys aren't getting broken out. Go on, you're not going back in the forest. Go on, this is temporary. Get out of here, go. So if I can try to lean over, I think this is one of the less flooded areas. Maybe not. And look, this is how you ruin your camera, probably. See if I can look over. Can you see? No, it's still really shaded. You can't see unless we're over there. But my point is, I think this has been dug out or something and is just getting more and more dug out. And then our property, I'm sure our land was not always this steep. I feel like this has just happened over time. And I'm just gonna show you the back spot over here on the other side of the fence. First off, trash just gets stuck back here, but see how much more level it is. Their earth, level, and then these guys' backyard. But somehow on our side, it's literally like a dugout pit. And I don't know if you'll be able, if you can tell. So what I think is that we're gonna have to take this fence out, of course. And I think we need to level out some of this soil. And I'm even maybe thinking we need to get a thing of gravel. Just lay down a huge truckload of gravel in the back here. What do you guys think? We'd have to budget for that. We'd have to plan it. we'd have to see, you know, who even can do that. What do you think though? Like, obviously that part is dug out, right? I didn't just make that up. Like that is, and maybe they did that to put the fence post down in the ground. I don't know. I don't know. And then all of these trees are overhanging, but we don't know who owns this. Maybe the county will know. Maybe I can ask them tomorrow. See how overhanging the trees are over the fence line? Like they're literally, if I come back more, you'll see better this way. Hang on. See how they're literally almost touching the roof. They're almost covering our roof over the property line. See that? And some of the trees are kind of alive, but honestly the one with the, I think they're called widowmakers, some of these dead limbs over here on this one is just hanging. So I'm wondering too, and I'm pretty sure that tree is dead, I could be mistaken, but I'm just wondering, can I cut down some of that that's obviously over our property line? Or do I have to get their permission? And do they even know? I think I've decided, after I've sat here for a little bit, I'm not going to try to reuse this fence. I'm just not. I was thinking I could maybe save some money. I was thinking maybe it could be a little DIY, build a planter box or a raised bed out of these, okay, wow, a huge hawk just flew by. That's pretty cool. I thought I would be able to reuse it, but I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's going to be more work, more effort than it's worth, literally. Like, I think, and they're so rotten. So I think I'm just going to have to junk them, you know, take them to the recycle and toss them. Plus the amount of nails and screws and who knows what else is in there. So yeah, I think I'm just going to toss the fence. I'm going to toss that fencing, and I think we're going to have to put in a new fence, of course. But I think I'm going to wait to start tearing out the back of this until I know about putting in a new fence. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go to Home Depot and buy more of those posts and chicken wire and then be in this puddle water. I mean, I don't know. You guys, I'm so indecisive. I'm so indecisive. Like, all I've decided is, yes, we need a new fence. What, how, and when, that I'm not sure. And part of the challenge, and maybe you guys know this too, but with our dogs, we have to have some kind of a fence barrier because otherwise they're gonna escape back there. They already want to. There's a good boy. Is Chewy? Is Chewy good boy? Is Roxy good girl? There's a Roxy. Is a good girl. Yes, you are. And Nova? Nova, you good girl? What are you doing? Oh, Nova. And then there's Chewy boy. His good boy, Chewy boy. Is this a horrible first video of the series or what? This is why we can't have nice grass. All right, y'all, the batteries are charged, and I think I've decided we're just gonna chop down, we're just gonna saw, use the, my husband's miter saw thing. Or that's not a miter saw, some kind of hand. We're gonna use his saw, whatever kind it is. We're just gonna cut down these fence panels. There's no way I'm gonna try to salvage that. I'm gonna probably be mad if I spend so much time trying to DIY and salvage them and plane them and sand them or whatever to build a garden bed, only for it to be like a rotten, crappy looking garden bed. So I think that wood is just too far gone. So we're gonna saw it and put it in a pile up front here. I might pull the truck out, put it in the back of the truck, I don't know. But I'm gonna just try to break it down to smaller pieces so we can easily take it to the recycle place. It's the only thing I think we can do. All right, I don't know exactly what the right answer is, but I'm thinking we need to get these off these big 2x4s as much as possible with the saw. Even though there is definitely some critters. So let's just see oh, you have to push this down first, I think. Okay. So then we've got these size boards, which is what I was thinking. We could just sand down and build, but I don't think we're going to. I think we're just gonna have to scrap them. We're just gonna have to scrap them. But at least this will be easier. Okay, maybe it'll be easier. Oh, sick. Huh. I don't know. Really, what's the right way here? Okay, let's do like this. I think let's do like that. And let's see if that'll work to get this gone. Okay, so now we've just got this big 2x4 with the tops on it, and then we've got all these small pieces, which I thought we could rebuild, but honestly this wood just is not good enough. There's just nothing good enough about this. Can't be. Can't be. So let's take this, put it in the truck. I think we'll just take this the way it is.
it'll break off. Yep. Broke off. Good. And then this big piece, we'll send back the truck. All right. Let's get to it. We're already done that too right now. Let's keep sending it. Let's see here. Moved all this here just so I could have more room to work with, but I think, see if we can't get this sawed through. Okay, probably just be smaller pieces. These are fine the way they are. These will go the way they are. But I don't know. And then everything's got nails. And it's rotted. I just don't know about this. I mean, how are you supposed to, how do I do it just now? Like this? I think so. Yeah, I guess it doesn't have to be that close, huh? So it just has to be smaller than what it currently is. Okay, let's try it this way. That one don't want to go. How come? The knot? One more. Yeah, some of them don't want to go. Some don't want to go for some reason. But that's okay, because we're getting good ones here. That way it's just smaller and easier to transport, because I don't know if you can see, but like, it might even be termite damage or whatever from the woods. The woods do be having termites. I don't know. But I can tell you this. It's not good enough for a raised bed. Not putting out food in it. Yeah, right. See if we can cut this in half. Whoa, I didn't like that. When it kicks back like that, I don't think it likes it. Okay, but we got it.
Can't be having wood. It's obviously we're gonna have to get back there and get those better. Okay. All right, let's try to get this a little better organized so it'll be easier to unload as well. And I'm not saying these couldn't be good pieces of wood, but I just don't think so anymore. I just don't. They are too moldy, too rotten, and I just don't think it's good. Plus, who wants molded, rotten, termite infested old ass fence to be their garden? Literally nobody. Nobody ever said that's what they wanted. Okay, this one we have to saw down because it's too long.